Can I have you guys introduce yourselves, like what GPPA program you're in, like your year and major in school, and when and where you went to study abroad?
My name's Lisa. I am GPPA medicine. I'm a biochemistry major, and I studied abroad the summer between my sophomore and junior year in Peru doing archaeology.
I'm Joe, and I'm a GPPA med student also. I studied abroad in Italy between my sophomore and junior year, studying, I guess, cooking and other cultural classes.
How were the expenses of your trip? Did financial aid or scholarships apply?
My trip was actually through UIC. It was with a professor at the university, so it was actually very cheap relatively to go to Peru. Financial aid could apply in my case, but I didn't use it, and there was one full scholarship for a student who went on a trip.
For my trip, I actually paid out of pocket, but there was also a few scholarships that were available through the Honors College as well as through Study Abroad office. Unfortunately, I didn't get any, so I just paid from pocket.
What would you say your parents' biggest concern was for you guys to go on the trip, and how did you guys resolve that?
My parents were more worried about communication, so talking to me every day. In Italy, they do have pretty good internet connections, so we use Skype and also emailing.
I think my parents were really concerned about safety because I was going to South America and I've never been there before, and I didn't really know Spanish at all, so that was their biggest concern, but it wasn't really a big deal, especially for safety, because we usually traveled together in groups, and there were at least 3 or 4 people who were fluent in Spanish, so they could guide us wherever we needed to go.
In terms of safety, how safe did you guys feel, and how did you guys have health insurance overseas?
Well, one main thing when we were there is you never travel alone, obviously, so we would always be in groups, so I never really felt unsafe. And also, there's a lot of students from America and from other countries that are also there, so it's not like you're just the only one in that country, so it's pretty good. And then in terms of health insurance, we paid like $30, I think, for a month overseas for a special health insurance through the Study Abroad office.
How did you transfer the credits, and how did you plan for where the credits went, such as general education, electives, or did any of them fit into your major?
Before we went to study abroad, we both had to fill out a form saying getting our credits approved, and for me, the 2 courses were kind of anthropology courses, so they went through my elective credit, and it was a pretty easy process. You just have to fill out a form and get it signed by the dean, I think, of that college.
Yeah, and in my case, I actually did get general education requirements, so you can have some of the classes that will fit different categories, which is nice.
What were the language requirements for the program? Were you guys, did you guys need to be fluent or have a solid knowledge of the language?
Actually, no. For me in Peru, we didn't need to know Spanish at all. Like I said, there are a lot of students who were fluent, though, so it helped them communicate more with the different archaeologists there and the local people, but it's not necessary.
It's same in Italy. You do not need to know Italian before you go. All the classes are taught in English, and I know same with most programs that they are taught in English. It is nice, I guess, if you do have somewhat of a background for when you go around and travel, but it's not necessary.
As applied to GPPA guaranteed professional program admission students in particular, how do you think studying internationally benefited you?
I think for me, it was a really great experience to try something new. Archaeology definitely was not something that I had in mind coming into college, but because of GPPA, I was able to try archaeology because I didn't feel the pressure of other students to do something extremely medically related in my undergraduate years. So it was really nice, and it was a great experience just to open my eyes to see different things that are out there in the world besides medicine.
And also at UIC, I know that a lot of like the art classes are very limited to people only in like art majors or that type of major. So for being like a biology or science major, it's nice to be able to study abroad in order to get access to those classes.
If you could study abroad again, what would you do differently or wish you had known?
I think I would plan to sightsee even more than I did. Since my program was only 5 weeks, that means only really 5 weekends there, and every weekend we try to go somewhere new. We try to go to Chile and different cities in Peru, but I think I would have planned to stay even longer and visit different cities in South America, because when you're there, it's a really great experience and it's a really great time to just travel around because you're already in that region, but it's a lot harder to go back and start over and travel again. So that's what I would do.
Yeah, I would suggest actually staying after even longer just to travel because you are in the area already. So just like Lisa said, it's good to plan ahead.
Thank you guys.